When SCS Software announced that Euro Truck Simulator 2 and American Truck Simulator were coming to consoles, I don't think anyone expected the response they received within just a few months. More than 500,000 players had already added the games to their wish lists. Think about that for a second. 500,000 people for games that until now have only existed on PC. That tells you something. There has always been a huge audience waiting to play these games on Xbox and PlayStation, and today, I wouldn't be surprised if that number has already climbed to well over 1 million wish lists across both consoles. We don't have official numbers, but considering how much attention these games continue to receive, it certainly feels possible, and if that's true, then console players are waiting for only one thing. Not another screenshot, not another teaser, not another blog post, just one date, the release date, the day they can finally start their own trucking journey. Now, I've seen a lot of people saying that console development only started after SCS made the announcement. I don't think that's the case. I think the preparation started much earlier, maybe without us even realizing it. If we go back to 2024, that's when we started seeing some interesting changes. The first thing that caught my attention was the user interface. The old menus slowly started disappearing. Instead, we got modern tiled menus, larger buttons, cleaner layouts, better organization. Everything became much easier to understand. At the time, most of us simply thought, oh, they're refreshing the interface, but looking back now, I think there may have been another reason. Controllers. A controller doesn't work like a mouse. Every menu has to be easy to navigate using only a few buttons. Everything needs to be larger, clearer, and quicker to move through. Then came the graphics improvements. SCS introduced new anti-aliasing, rendering improvements, better lighting, better reflections, improved materials, and every update made the game feel just a little more modern, just a little more polished, again. They looked like ordinary graphical updates, but today, they feel like pieces of a much larger puzzle. Because bringing ETS2 and ATS to consoles isn't easy, not even close. SCS isn't using Unreal Engine, they're not using Unity. They're not using the same engines used by Rockstar, Ubisoft, or EA. They're using Prism 3D, an engine they've been building and improving for years. An engine designed specifically for truck simulation, and that's both its biggest strength and one of its biggest challenges over the years. The engine has grown enormously, but underneath, it's still carrying technology that has evolved over a very long time that makes adding new features much harder than many people realize. People often ask, why don't we have dynamic seasons yet? Or, why isn't there fully dynamic weather? Those are fair questions, but features like that aren't just content. They're engine features. They affect almost every system in the game. Lighting, roads, vegetation, physics, AI, performance, everything. Now imagine trying to optimize all of that. For Xbox, for PlayStation, for different hardware, for millions of potential players, that's a massive job, and that's probably why SCS has been taking its time. Because once these games launch on consoles, there won't be a second first impression. It has to work. It has to feel smooth, stable, responsive, and enjoyable. Otherwise, years of work could be judged in a single weekend. Now look at what we've been getting over the last few updates. The interface keeps improving, the rest system has been redesigned, the icons are cleaner. The fonts are easier to read, the colors stand out much better, everything is becoming simpler to understand at a glance. That matters, especially when someone is sitting several feet away from a television. Now look at the audio. Traffic sounds better than ever. Different vehicles feel more alive, the world has more depth. Then look at the material system. Truck cabins look better. Roads reflect light more naturally. Buildings have improved detail. Metal surfaces react to sunlight differently. Even driving during sunrise or sunset feels more immersive than it did a few years ago. Every update adds another small improvement. And on their own, they might not seem like a big deal, but when you put everything together, you start seeing a pattern. SCS isn't simply adding new features anymore. They're modernizing the entire experience, one update at a time, one system at a time, one improvement after another. And I honestly think that's why console players still don't have a release date. Not because development has stopped, but because SCS wants to get it right. Imagine you've never played Euro Truck Simulator before. You open it for the first time on your PlayStation or your Xbox. The menus feel smooth, the controls make sense, the graphics look sharp, the performance is stable, the trucks sound incredible. That's the experience SCS wants people to have. Not one filled with bugs or crashes or performance issues. That's why patience is so important. Good things usually take time, especially when you're bringing a game this complex to a completely new platform. So if you're still waiting for console news, don't lose hope. I think every major update is bringing us one step closer. Every engine improvement matters, every optimization matters, every interface redesign matters, every graphics update matters, every audio improvement matters. These aren't random updates. They all seem to be moving in the same direction, toward one goal, a successful console launch. So instead of counting the days, maybe we should start counting the updates. Because right now, the updates are the countdown, and eventually, when everything is ready, SCS will finally announce the date we've all been waiting for. Until then, relax, be patient. The signs are there. Euro Truck Simulator 2 and American Truck Simulator are coming to Xbox and PlayStation. It's no longer about if, it's simply about when.